Gotta look both ways before crossing the road. Hello and welcome to the Highway to Happiness channel, where we are going to dive into the latest gadgets, gizmos, and garments that we gotta have in order to keep ourselves artificially happy. Nope, sorry. Actually, we're gonna go the other way. We're gonna dive a little deeper. We are gonna ditch the facade and we are going to talk about what actually keeps us from being happy, and more importantly, what we can do about it. So we'll be philosophizing. That's just a term I like to use for analyzing philosophy, to see if and how we stand in our own way and how to remove those roadblocks and other obstacles in order to let more happiness into our lives. So I hope you're ready. Strap in, buckle up, do whatever you gotta do. This is Building the On-Ramp, Part 1, Defining the Goal, hence the outfit. Let's get started. So, imagine for a second that your mind is a car racing down the highway. But this isn't just any highway, this is your highway. For 4 easy payments of like, comment, subscribe, and share, you can own it. All of this can be yours. Your own private highway. There's nothing to worry about. There is nothing to slow you down, nothing stopping you from going as fast as you want. This is your mind at birth. There are no roadblocks. There are no obstacles. There are no past experiences holding you back from being your true self. You are simply potential and nothing else. Now, of course, you also don't know anything yet either. You don't know how to walk, talk, reason, or anything in between, but there is something that you do know how to do very well. You know how to express how you feel, something that we commonly get worse at as we get older. Now, let's take a second and think about what makes a newborn happy. Food, clothing, shelter, and family. Right? Babies don't need anything else. You give them those things, they're happy. So, let's simplify that last one to just positive human connection, contact. So you have food, clothing, shelter, and positive human connection. That's it. That's all they have, and that's all it takes for a newborn to be happy. So, my next question, as you might be able to guess, is, does that ever change, or do we just overcomplicate it as we get older? Now, as we begin to grow and we soak up everything about our environment, we begin to form something else. Something that either accelerates us forward or starts to slow our car down. Now, what is that something else? Well, it's something that we fear out of artificial intelligence, and that is becoming self-aware. It is our self-image. It is our impression of how we are supposed to fit in. It is our attempt at figuring out who we are and who we are supposed to be. We call it an identity, and I would argue that it is one of, if not the most difficult thing for us to figure out. Now, doesn't that seem kind of strange? Why is that the case? Are we just looking in the wrong place, perhaps? Well, because unlike most other things, seldom do they require us to defy ourselves. And as it turns out, when it comes to personal growth, we are our own obstacle. We are our own roadblock. What if we aren't meant to fit in? What if identity isn't supposed to come from our environment? What then? Well, then we have to learn how to look somewhere else entirely. Now, bad news first is that we cannot make any self-improvement progress without first coming to the realization that we are our own problem. After all, if we're trying to improve ourselves, then we have to be willing to look at ourselves as the problem instead of blaming outside factors. Now, of course, there's no doubt that outside factors contribute to, if not almost always cause, our internal struggles. However, those events are not what keep us down, but our own continued interpretation of those events and what they continue to mean to us. I know. It can be hard to hear. And believe me, I sympathize for anything and everything that you've been through. I've been through my fair share, as all of us have. But until we learn how to let those events go, they will continue to play a part in our lives, even if we don't want them to. After all, those events are gone and in the past, and yet they continue to play a role. So it must be us. We are the reason that they are still hanging around. Now for the good news. We are also, and you are also, the solution to whatever personal obstacle you want to overcome. Identity is ever evolving. Your mind is not made out of stone. It is fluid, and what holds it together is your knowledge and your interpretation and perception of who you are. That's it. And no matter your age, you can always work on it, change it, and improve it. Your newborn, uncomplicated identity never changed. You are still potential, and that is the goal here, is for you to learn how to figure out what it is and work toward reaching it, because there is nothing greater than realizing your personal potential. There is no better feeling. The potential to learn new things, the potential to overcome your past, the potential to find happiness from within yourself. Now, if you'd like to speed up that process and learn how to do that, I have a course for you. There is a link down in the description where there's a website that I've put together where there is a discovery call waiting for you should you choose to schedule one, so that we can figure out if this is something that you are ready to do. You may not be, but if you are, I would highly encourage you to check it out. Now, regardless of whether or not you choose to get in touch, I hope you will continue to find value here as we're going to talk about and show examples of the two main things that stand between us and our happiness. Excuse me. Personal growth and all that it entails, as well as conflict resolution. Because if you're going to grow, you are going to inevitably run into conflict, and you have to learn how to deal with those situations when they arise. So stick around, subscribe, give YouTube the warm and fuzzies. Welcome to the channel. My name is Arthur. I will be your navigator on this being our highway to happiness, and I will see you at the next bump in the road.